Today's world thrives on business, trade, and the vast opportunities they present. At the heart of it all lies the crucial role played by global banking systems. Think about it, every day close to 1 trillion transactions unfold. Whether it's depositing a check, making a UPI payment, or availing loan services, there's a powerful system working tirelessly behind the scenes. That's where Trust Fintech Ltd steps in as a leading developer of core banking software. As India advances its digital journey, with the government and RBI emphasizing the importance of core banking systems, Trust Fintech is perfectly positioned. They've not only embraced the digital revolution but have also perfected their offerings in this rapidly expanding market. With a footprint spanning over 10 countries, they've not just built software, they've built trust. Imagine managing a team of over 300 experts, each committed to excellence. This dedication is reflected in their recognitions, including CMMI Level 5, ISO 27001, and the noteworthy title of a Microsoft Gold Partner.
We enable banks in their digital journey through AI-based core banking platform, that is Trust Bank CBS. Our aim is to serve 1,000 banks and financial institutions globally in next 3 years.
Trust Fintech isn't just crafting solutions, they're nurturing relationships with a clientele that spans the globe. From Asia to Africa to America, their expertise in core banking systems has garnered trust far beyond India's borders. We have developed more than 10 plus banking related products for commercial and cooperative banks and NBFCs, including core banking software, loan origination software, GST compliance software, financial accounting and billing software, SAP B1 services and many add-ons. At the heart of their offerings is Trust Bank CBS, a flagship product that's revolutionizing the banking industry. It's a comprehensive core banking solution that empowers financial institutions to offer a seamless and efficient banking experience to their customers. Trust is committed to leveling the playing field in the financial world. Their Micro FINS solution is designed specifically for smaller financial institutions, ensuring they have access to the same powerful tools as their larger counterparts. It's about financial inclusion and democratizing access to advanced banking technology. Navigating the complexities of the goods and services tax, GST, in India can be a daunting task for businesses. Trust has emerged as a standout player in simplifying this process. Trust Soft GST ensures that businesses can comply with tax regulations seamlessly, allowing them to focus on growth rather than paperwork. Trust prowess extends beyond banking systems. They excel in SAP Business One, are from the ground up and developing tailor-made software solutions. Their tech integration services are the cornerstone of digital transformation for businesses of all sizes. These product categories are a testament to Trust's commitment to delivering cutting-edge solutions that empower businesses and institutions to thrive in the digital age. Every day at Trust Systems and Software, we are not just coding, we are crafting the future. We have experienced innovation and the change it brings firsthand, so we are ready and excited for everything that the future holds for us.
I am Mandar Dev, Technical Director at Trust Systems. Trust System has a strong focus over BFSIs. In this era where data is more valuable than anything else, we integrate cutting-edge security measures to protect data as well as our products.
In 2023 itself, Trust Fintech achieved significant milestones. They introduced a comprehensive NPA recovery management, audit, and compliance module, catering to major banks within their client portfolio. Additionally, they secured a substantial contract from the United States of America to implement their core banking system within a prominent credit union. We believe participation is impactful and noteworthy, and it provides strength to everyone who is involved in the process. So it's an open invitation to be part of a journey, a revolution in the tech world. Come and be part of shaping a brighter, more efficient digital future alongside Trust Fintech Ltd.
Welcome friends, my name is Avinash and I welcome all of you to another interesting episode of Corporate Face-to-Face series. Friends, in these episodes, we introduce emerging companies from emerging sectors. And in this process, we talk to the promoters of such companies so that all of us can understand such companies in a much better way. Friends, today we got a very interesting company, from the banking SaaS space and which is doing very interesting work and which is going to hit the SME capital markets very soon. The company's name is Trust Fintech Limited, and we have the pleasure of having the top management, Mr. Hemant Zafade, who's the Managing Director and CEO of the company. Hemantji, thank you very much for sparing your valuable time with us today. I'm pretty sure that in this small interaction, we'll be able to understand your company's operations in a much better way.
Thank you, Mr. Avinash.
Yeah.
It's pleasure talking to you.
Yeah. So, Hemanji, first question, which is very elementary. If you could tell us, what is Trust Fintech doing? What is the business model of our company? And which are the target segments where Trust Fintech is doing a lot of activity? Specifically, I read about your company. It is providing several SaaS products, which is quite unique. So if you could tell us, what this business model is all about, and also tell us in a very brief way, how did your business journey with this company start? When you started in this journey, how did you begin? If you could add some color and begin.
Yeah. See, we started way back in 1997 for a solution for a small cooperative bank. That time the technology was COBOL, and we all know it was a branch automation kind of a solution.
Yeah.
Subsequently, we moved, and then we have moved to Windows platform, and then the browser-based solution, which is the currently available solution.
Okay.
The technology has changed over a period of last 2 decades, and we also have changed the application based on the demands and requirements of RBI, compliances, and the delivery channels. As far as the segment is concerned, we are focused on presently cooperative banks in India, but at the same time, we have some customers in NBFC, which we are now targeting. Apart from that, we also have overseas operations. We have banks in close to 10 countries. Recently, we got one order from US. So that also work is going on. So basically, it's what we can say, providing a solution across the core banking.
Okay.
Apart from core banking, we have multiple add-on softwares. Like if we talk of tier 1 solutions, then many of the things are not available in tier 1 solutions. For example, I can say PFMS, Public Finance Management System, which is recently launched in India. Then the GST solution.
Yeah.
Because everybody needs a GST solution.
Exactly.
Without GST, nobody can work. Even every transaction, when we withdraw money from ATM, it attracts 2 rupees 80 paise as a GST.
Okay.
Although it is not debited to our account, but somewhere it is debited.
Okay.
So all those transactions, you can imagine every digital transaction, although it is free to customer in UPI, but it is not free for the bank.
Okay.
So basically, when it is built by one bank to another bank, there is always a GST.
Okay.
So now all these transaction comes in B2B. So everywhere you need an invoicing solution, everywhere you need a reconciliation, and everywhere you need a settlement.
Okay.
So we have developed multiple solutions which can fit in to any kind of a CBS.
Okay.
So our main focus is CBS, but
Okay.
across the CBS, whatever new models required or whatever functionality required in order to have complete ERP for a bank, we can say.
Okay.
And those solutions are plug and play. We can plug into any of the solution.
Okay.
So that way we are even targeting the commercial banks.
Okay. I think Hemanji, very nicely articulated by you. Tell me one thing. You mentioned about various products for cooperative banks, for NBFCs. In totality, Hemanji, what could be the number of products we have in our basket? If you could just give me a broad number, how many products, are there, and which are the frontline products which actually drive the major source of revenue for our company? If you could give some idea.
See, in terms of add-ons, we have 20 plus add-ons.
Okay. Okay.
But in terms of driving the market, core banking is a main product.
Okay.
Then microfinance online is a product on open source.
Okay.
Since some of the cooperative societies or Nidhi companies are small in size, they don't afford technology cost.
Okay.
So we have brought a miniature of core banking, we can say,
Okay.
on an open source platform, and it is given at a very lucrative price for a small societies and Nidhi companies.
Okay.
And since it is like on online SaaS based solution, and we don't have much of migration in that because the cost is low, we have typically fixed set of implementation
Yeah.
through which those societies can take the service.
Okay. No, understood. Himanji, now tell me in totality, we have been in the market for a reasonably long time. Tell me what is the positioning of Trust Fintech with all these cooperative banks? Obviously, once the cooperative bank starts using your SaaS software, I'm quite sure that once they are happy with the quality, the delivery, it is like an annuity business. It continues. So, in terms of your positioning, I mean, typically, how long is the contract with these cooperative banks? Is it 3 years, 5 years, or is it 2 years? First of all, the durability of the tenure of the contract, and secondly, what is the kind of service business which you get every year? Like I am quite sure when it is SaaS business, a certain portion of your revenue must be coming as service fees, from existing customers. So if you could tell us something on that, please.
Yeah, if we talk of the service portion, our overall 70% of our revenue comes from SaaS.
Okay.
And basically, we are charging every bank on a monthly rental basis.
Okay. Okay.
And typically, when a bank is onboarded, our contracts are for 5 years minimum.
Okay.
And they are all extendable contracts. Like it's mentioned in the contract that if everything is in order, it is deemed continued.
Okay.
So basically, the extension, yearly addition, everything is mentioned in basic contract.
Okay.
So typically, all contracts get extended automatically.
Okay.
And unless there is any policy change or
Right.
something.
Exactly.
And in last 25 years, only two customers left us.
Okay. Okay.
So you can imagine.
So there
Rather,
is a lot
we
of customers.
discontinued
Yeah. Yeah.
we discontinued giving them service because they were not ready to give fair price. Like
Exactly.
they don't want to give hike in the. We have asked for 5% increment year on year, and they said no, we will not give you that, which was there in the contract.
Exactly. Fine.
So end of the day, we have to say thank you to them.
Hey, that is fine. Himanji, now tell me, you mentioned about pricing. When you have a 5-year contract, typically can we assume that every year or every 2 years there is some sort of price increase which is built in, like 5%, 4%? When you enter a contract, as you said in the agreement, something is mentioned. So what is the scope for price increase? Is this decided in advance, or as you go to the second year, then there is some negotiation and then the price increase comes?
Generally, it is in advance.
Okay.
It is
Okay.
mentioned in the basic contract.
Okay.
And apart from that, see, every time if you look at last 7 years or 8 years, Indian banking has changed a lot.
Exactly.
So every 6 months you will find something new is coming up.
Exactly.
So that is always an add-on for a existing customer.
Okay.
So when just like we have developed a positive pay system. Now positive pay introduced 2 years back. So people have started using positive pay.
Okay.
Earlier, government was saying that positive pay is required for checks above 5 lakh rupees. Then they introduced initially in metros. Then now it is everywhere.
Exactly.
Above 2 lakh rupees, you have to use the positive pay system.
Exactly. Okay.
So the basically this change is happening continuously
Okay.
at a policy level, at a reporting level, at a transaction level also. Now UPI has reached a level where 50% of transactions are now happening through UPI.
Exactly.
So basically, to adapt to the challenges, smaller banks are also going digital because unless they go digital,
Yeah.
they won't survive.
Exactly. I think got
So
it, Hemanji.
yeah,
Tell me one thing,
yeah.
Hemanji. Now you mentioned about banks and nidhis. If you could share with us, which are the few marquee customers, which we deal, because you all have got such a long track record of 25 years. If you could share some of the names, that would help our viewers to understand the kind of closeness you enjoy with the cooperative banks, with maybe the other private sector banks, the nidhis. If you could share some names for us, sir, please.
Yeah, we have International Bank of Liberia in Liberia, who is
Okay.
our customer for last almost now 9 years now.
Okay.
Then the Barandina Microfinance in Sri Lanka, which is financed by Barandina Netherlands. That is our customer since last 10 years.
Oh.
Then NABARD Financial Services is our customer. Then Gadchiroli District Central Cooperative Bank is our customer since 99.
Okay.
So we are completing a relationship of 25 years with the bank.
Okay. Very good.
So again, Chandrapur District Bank, they are also our customer since 2000.
Okay.
So we have long relationship with the customers. Now recently we have Pune District Central Cooperative Bank. We have completed 3 years with them.
Okay.
Then Mumbai Bank is our customer.
Okay.
We have completed 2 years with them.
Okay.
So basically, it's always a ongoing relationship,
Okay.
and it has nurtured very well in last 25 years.
I think very nice, Hemanji, because so many customers. So obviously, it means that you all have been delivering excellently on all parameters. Clients are happy. Tell me one thing, Hemanji. Now, in terms of the opportunity, cooperative banks. Please correct me if I'm wrong. There are about 1,600 or 1,700 cooperative banks. Now, what is the opportunity for growth for a company like ours? Because we cater to the cooperative bank, core banking, CBS we give them. So in the next say 3 4 years, what is the kind of growth we visualize from the cooperative banks packet? Because I think government is also wanting these cooperative banks to be more technology savvy. Digitization, as you rightly said, is now increasingly seen in tier 2 tier 3 cities. So on this aspect, how is the company positioned and how will we capitalize on this growth? If you could share your thoughts.
Yeah, there were close to 8 vendors in the tier 2 segment who were catering to cooperative banks. Out of eight, 2 were banks like Saraswat Cooperative Bank having Saraswat Infotech.
Yeah.
Then the Shamrao Vittal Cooperative Bank having Shamrao Vittal
Yeah.
Infotech, SVC Infotech.
Yeah.
RBI banned both of them from doing software business.
Okay.
So their customer are looking for now change.
Okay.
Okay. Secondly, there were some vendors like who were on the old technology and they could not migrate to new technology. So they are also now on the verge of switching, shifting.
Correct.
There are 2 3 mergers happened. So now actually what has happened over a period of time in last post COVID, I will say, or during the COVID, for a vendor like let's say somebody who is having 100 people, it was a big challenge to meet the expectations of customers
Okay.
and the technology change.
Okay.
So what has happened? Some of them have either sold their companies or some of them they have merged with some companies.
Okay.
So now what is happening? The existing customers they are they are not that satisfied because the services, the faces, all everything is changed.
Exactly.
And because they were stressed companies, we can say, they were not able to deliver the changes.
Okay.
So now there is a lot of opportunity in terms of delivering the technology as well as the functionality what we are providing.
Okay. Okay.
So
Understood.
we are getting a lot of inputs. We are getting a lot of opportunities from states like Gujarat as well as Karnataka.
Okay.
Earlier we were not there much in those states, but now we are getting good orders from those places also.
So good. Hemanji, now tell me one thing. I want to understand. You have promoted this company. You have actually started this business from scratch. Now, what is it that Trust Fintech does in a much better way as far as customer satisfaction is concerned? I just want to understand. Leave the balance sheet and the financial aside. But in terms of the customer service, in terms of the delivery, in terms of the execution, how are we different from others in the market? And what is it that differentiates you from other people who are doing the same activity in the market? If you could just point 2 3 points for us.
Yeah, most important is we have 100% RBI reporting solution.
Okay.
Secondly, the tier 2 vendors who are giving solution, they do not have value date and transaction date for same transaction.
Okay.
So what happens is for them, it's a old technology, old design. For if somebody is doing digital transaction on Friday, the date appears as if on Monday.
Okay.
So bank is losing on interest.
Okay.
Revenue leakage is there.
Yeah.
And nowadays everything is 24/7. Even RTGS is 24/7, 365.
Exactly.
NACH is 24/7, 365. So to change for our tier 2 vendors to change their solution, it is as good as writing from the scratch.
Exactly.
So that's why where we have a differentiation. Number two is like we have a report writing tool.
Okay.
Using that tool, we can configure any change in RBI reports,
Okay.
because RBI keeps on giving changes
Yeah.
almost every 2 months. You will find there is a change. So for a cooperative bank, it's very difficult
Exactly.
since they do not have that technical capable staff. So for them, meeting the requirements of RBI is a challenge.
Okay.
And there we definitely position ourselves because the product takes care of most of the things.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Imanji, now tell me one thing. I think R&D plays a very important role in terms of product development, specifically SaaS. Now, in terms of R&D development, what has been the kind of investment the company has been making? How many people you have in your product development? If you can just give us some small overview, in Trust Fintech, how many people are there in R&D? What is the, what are the new products which, have been developed of late? If you could share some thoughts, because this is a very interesting space. R&D is like the engine of growth for you. So on this, if you could share your thoughts.
Yeah, R&D is basically we are moving ahead in US market.
Okay.
So typically it's a functional side. Most of the things what are happening. That includes the customization based on the requirements at US, then the South America. Then there are certain changes we are making in our existing solution depending on the requirement, because now the digital transactions have gone up and the settlement of digital transaction has also changed.
Okay. Okay.
So continuously we are ensuring that we are able to manage 300 transactions per second.
Oh.
Our system throughput we calculated at multiple times,
Okay.
and it is 300 TPS.
Okay.
So we ensure that whatever things happen, that should not affect the throughput of the entire system.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Just one thing, Hemanji, now you're mentioning that you're going to be entering the US market. So can we assume that exports will be the next growth driver for Trust Fintech in the coming years? If you could share your thoughts.
Yeah, export is going to be a next big thing. I have personally been to multiple banks in US last 1 year. My elder brother, who is also promoter in the company, he is joining full time in US, and we are starting office in US.
Okay.
He is ex director Pfizer. Pfizer is like TCS of US, you can say.
Okay.
They are number one in banking solutions in US, and he was there for almost now 3 decades. So he has developed the solution, and he was the head of that complete solution. So he'll be driving our next journey in US.
Okay.
And since we have one now customer,
Yeah.
getting further customers will be much easier.
Okay. I think very nice to hear, Imanji. Imanji, now let's come to the financials. Last year, I think, was a very good year. I think we saw the revenue of 22 crores, 4 crores plus profit. The EBITDA margins are also very attractive, 25% plus EBITDA margin, so very good. Now, what we saw in the first half, I think, has been very solid. You have done a top line of almost 18.82 crores and a profit after tax of almost 7.28 crores. And I was seeing your EBITDA, Hemanji, very commendable. It's almost 9.95 crores. So, I was just wondering, these kind of EBITDA margins, Hemanji, from 25%, it has moved to almost 50%. So, can we assume that something dramatic has happened in these 6 months? Aisa kya ho gaya hai? Profitability has jumped. So can we see sustainability in these numbers going ahead? And what were the main reasons for this improvement? If you could please tell us.
Yeah, number one is if you look at the overall expenses remain the same. The number of clients increased.
Okay.
Number two, earlier it used to take 6 months for us to take any bank live.
Okay.
Now we have developed a program for migration.
Okay.
So now we are able to complete switching of any bank to our system
Okay.
less than 3 months.
Oh, very good. Okay.
So it is almost 100% addition in efficiency, we can say.
Okay. So
The third thing is we received order from US, which is close to 1.5 million.
Okay.
and in that license sale is 750K US dollar.
Okay.
So license sale is nothing but we have to just enable the software
Oh,
on a cloud,
okay.
and there was no effort as such because it is already developed.
Oh, correct.
So automatically that 6 crore
Ah,
adds the profit.
exactly. Correct. So that is the reason the profitability has jumped. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, and we are looking at more on the export side. That's why I can say that yes, the profitability definitely will be sustainable. On the scale, it may fluctuate 5% here and there, but since
Okay.
the product is ready,
Ah, exactly.
and in India, banks don't pay much for the customization.
Ah,
But
exactly.
in US, they pay you for even a small change.
Okay. Okay. So that is the
So
difference.
basically, yeah. So basically, it's a continuing business. You
Okay.
can say
So understood.
if they want. Yeah.
Now, Hemanji, one more thing I wanted to understand, in terms of the order book, if you could give us some idea, whatever is possible for you, if you could tell us what is the, order book, which can give us an idea, what is the visibility of business for the next, say, 12, 15 months? Are we comfortable on the order book?
Yeah. See, what happens is in the SaaS business, if you talk of like now we have a currently let's say 700 branches we are serving, and the average monthly uh, billing is somewhere 20,000 rupees average.
Okay.
So so almost 18 crore, 19 crore is a just a billing.
Ah,
It's a
exactly.
continuation of service.
Okay. Correct.
It's a continuation of service
Correct. Correct.
where no new delivery is required.
Correct. You just have to cut.
Plus, yeah, plus this all these banks. See, basically our turnover is let's say if we have 100 rupees turnover, 70 rupees is my ongoing
Correct.
billing,
Exactly. Correct.
and this 30 is basically one time. Whenever we add a new bank,
Ah, exactly. Correct.
one time installation, migration, training. This is all comes under 30%.
Understood. I think I got your logic.
Yeah. So
Hemanji, now
basically,
one thing, one
so
important aspect. Yeah, please, sir, continue.
so majority of our uh, billing, like when we add a bank, we add to the turnover in the next year.
Okay, understood. I think, Himanji,
Say,
now the next question is on the working capital side, sir. When we sign up a cooperative bank or a Nidhi, what is the payment cycle? If you could tell us, how the payment cycle is given, whether it is on a, you said on a monthly basis. So based on their consumption or based on their requirement, do you decide on the 5th of every month the payment has to come, or how the cycle is? Because typically this is like a prepaid business. SaaS is like I use the service, I have to pay, and then the money comes. So does any working capital exist in the business, or you're basically the working capital is entirely funded by the client? That is what I want to understand.
no, working capital is required because in cooperative banks, what happens like they have a process of like clearing any invoice. They have meetings and everything. So typically that process takes close to 30 days.
Okay, 30 days is roughly
And
the working capital cycle.
yeah, but what happens is like whenever we go live with a new customer, see we have a functionality which is 2x of existing, let's say.
Okay.
Okay, somebody who is doing manually TDS, manually GST,
Ah,
manually fixed asset, manually salaries. So a lot of functions are presently done manually in any cooperative bank,
correct.
and all reporting is done using Excel.
Ah, exactly.
So now what happens is like suppose a bank is having at head office let's say 100 people. When they introduce our software, they will require hardly 20 people
Okay, so they save on labor cost.
labor cost. But there is automation and there is a resistance to change.
Ah, exactly.
So what happens is all these people initially they will resist. So to mature the product, it will take some time.
Correct.
And bank do not have IT staff enough to take module by module.
Correct.
So we have to handshake with every individual rather than handshaking with the IT people.
Correct. Okay, understood.
So what happens is that their data is not there. Now suppose somebody is doing manual certain activities. So they have to prepare that data in Excel sheets.
Yeah.
Then somebody has to check that data. So entire process and their existing banking is going on. When
Correct.
we send an order, banks can't stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
We get a margin of 24 hours, maximum 48 hours to switch over.
Correct.
But before that, we have to build data, check data, then migrate data, then do the simulations,
Right.
training,
Yeah.
user acceptance, and then we switch over.
No, no,
So this
understood. I think,
time is
yeah, I think it's a
typically
very,
3 months.
very well laid down executable process, Hemanji. Hemanji,
Yeah.
now important question is, I think from the investor standpoint is that, if you could share with us, we are going public. So if you could share some data points, what is the objective of the public issue? How much funds are we raising? So if you could give us some highlights of the forthcoming IPO.
Yeah. See, we are raising close to 60 crores.
Okay.
And out of 60 crore, we currently have our own premises close to 12,000 square feet.
Yeah.
And we are planning to have another infrastructure close to 80,000 square feet. We have already acquired the plot in SEZ. Secondly, uh, since the team is going to increase from 300 people to 600 people,
Yeah.
this year we will have a rented space.
Yeah.
But when we compare the rent, we find that 22 months of rent is equal to the your own building.
Yeah.
So that's why we have taken that decision.
Okay. Fine.
Secondly, there are certain products which were now coupled with our CBS. We thought this can be a separate product.
Okay.
Like ONDC, online digital commerce is a
Ah,
platform.
correct.
You must have heard it's a
Yeah.
recently come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Government is pushing on that platform.
Yeah.
It's going to be Amazon of India.
Correct.
So basically here we have a loan origination system where somebody who wants a loan can connect to a bank.
Correct.
We, our solution right now is working in banks where it is directly connected to bank.
Okay.
But ONDC has come up with certain APIs, application program interface, by which buyer and seller can have two different applications.
Okay.
So we are making our system compatible with that.
Okay.
Apart from that, we are developing universal digital reconciliation. Like digital reconciliation means RTGS, UPI, IMPS, ATM, e-commerce, POS, all reconciliation.
Okay. Understood.
Now RBI has mandated all banks to have reconciliation on T+1 basis.
Oh, yes.
And it's a huge data. Now banks have 75% of data as a digital data,
Correct.
digital transaction data.
Correct.
And only 25% transaction happens across the counter.
Exactly.
So this reconciliation is a big thing
Okay.
that can be given on a SaaS
Okay.
basis. Currently, people are reconciling the transaction per transaction 50 paise they are charging. And you
Okay.
can imagine the volume of digital transactions.
Exactly. I think very
Okay.
nice. So lot of I think productive purpose of the public issue money. Hemanji, last question now for today. What is the major risk in our business? See, you have handled this company for the last 25 years. You have seen ups and downs. But if you leave out COVID, which was a universal problem for everybody, other than that, does our business have any risk apart from regulatory risk? Or is our business very stable, very safe as long as you are able to deliver what the customer wants? So if you could just tell, what is the risk in this business and how have you managed to, this mitigate this risk in such a good way and still, report good profitability. So on this, if you could please share your thoughts.
See, earlier we had a cooperative bank as the only, we can say, customers. Now we have geographically spread. Number two, we also have customers in now commercial banks.
Yeah.
We have solutions deployed at Bank of India, Bank of Maharashtra, Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda. So Saraswat, Shamrao Vittal, Cosmos Bank. So bigger banks are using our some of the products.
Okay.
So now we are able to see what happens is there are certain risks like delayed payments.
Yeah.
Since now, since, since now the portfolio has increased, exports has almost doubled from 22 to 23. Now it will be still on the higher side. on
Yeah.
24. So automatically, and in export, everything is done like in US, they will pay you 100% license fee.
Okay.
They will not ask you software
Exactly.
without the license fee. So automatically the things are changing in much better, on the much better side.
Okay.
So typical the risk we don't foresee much as far as the technology obsolescence is there, but we are continuously upgrading our software. We have a very good team and very stable team.
Exactly.
One most important point I would like to add, our top 20 people are working with us for last 20 years almost.
Okay. Okay.
So despite the attrition in IT, we are able to retain them, and they are our true assets in
Exactly.
terms of intellectual property, as we can say.
I think rightly said, Hemanji. I think all the best to you and your entire management team. And please accept my best wishes for your forthcoming IPO also. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Nice
you.
talking to you. It was a pleasure. Thank you.